All right, friends, we're back at the Likely Gold Mine again, and we have gone through, I'm just going to call it hell, over the last 18 months since we've been here and we've been mining, and we've had a whole bunch that we've done, and I'm nervous to say this to you, but I'm going to say we might finally be where we want to be, and I'll get into it right after this. Okay, so let me just review with everybody what we've been up to since we've been here. I'm going to turn the camera around and talk to you guys as I show you this. So if you go back through the episodes that I've showed you guys as we've been on this project together, we bought the mine 2 years ago, and we worked basically on this area down here. So if we look down here, there's the trommel, everything we have down there. And then we set up the new derocker here. When we first got this was all covered in trees. We had the community forest people come in and log the whole area, get rid of all of this. We got permits for this area. This area that we're standing in right now is 4 acres. And if you go back to the first season of the show, we brought in a drilling team who drilled holes. We had all that analyzed. We had a 43101 report done on the 15 holes that we drilled. And those drilling results were exciting, without a doubt. They're absolutely exciting. But then, of course, along the way, we've had equipment breakdowns and all kinds of things have happened. But cross my fingers, my toes, and everything else I can cross, the equipment is all working. A lot of work's been done to it, but the equipment is all working. And so right where you can see the excavator loading the rock truck up the hill right now, where he's digging right now is hole number 3. And the reason he's digging at hole number 3 is in our report, it says that at hole number 3, about 30 feet down, we're going to get into some really rich pay dirt, according to our reports. And that's where we are right now. So if you want to see how far we've come down, if you look down here and you look up the side, right to where you see the green growing on the dirt there, that's our road to come in here. So from there down to the lowest part down here, we're about almost 40 feet down. Where he's digging right now, he's at the 28-foot mark, right at hole number 3. And it's at 30 feet down where it gets really exciting. So this is our first full day. I'm going to show you some changes we had to do to our wash station, to our derocker that we have up on the hill there in order to make that work faster. But then, of course, what he's doing right now, and we're doing this for the whole day, we're going to see if we can do 800 yards today. He's loading the rock truck. The rock truck is coming down, dumping, and we're loading it into the plant. And everything is running from there. So here's the big rock truck coming down the hill right now. That rock truck, I think, if my memory serves correctly, it's somewhere between 6 and 10 yards of dirt in one load. And he's going to come down here. He's going to turn that bad boy around. Got really good guys working on this factory. Well, I'm waiting for him to turn around. That's our bulldozer we bought at the beginning of the year, and it was here for 2 weeks. We were assured it was in great working condition, and it broke down. And we had to put it through a whole rebuild to the tune of about $200,000, but it's been back. It's working perfectly. There's the rock truck turning around. When he starts to back up, I'll get around the other side so you guys can see what's actually going on right there. That's our guy, John. He's our on-site manager now. We've got Dan working remotely and working more on setting up permits and getting us ready, staying ahead of the curve, doing government relations, doing First Nations relations, all that good stuff. There's the derocker. So he's taking, that's the pay dirt. We are in ground right now that should be doing an ounce per 100 to 150 yards. So you can see he's got the derocker there. And all that pay dirt is there. He's going to back that bad boy up and he's going to dump it out. Now here's the most amazing thing. Remember, an ounce of gold per 100 yards. That bucket is only 6 yards. So we're talking 15 buckets of dirt for an ounce of gold. That might be that much gold at 5,500 Canadian dollars an ounce right now. And that's why it's risky doing all this stuff, right? You've got to make sure you've got gold in the dirt, and it's got to be enough to cover all the fuel, all of these diesel burning vehicles that are all the way around this thing. So he's going to dump that guy out there, and then we're going to walk down here, and I'll show you a little bit of the maintenance stuff's going on. I'll show you guys how the derocker is actually working. It's pretty amazing to see this. What I'm really excited about, I'm not excited about the fact that we've put, well, millions of dollars into this operation to get where we are, but those that know me know that I'm not going to stop at any cost. I will succeed. There's no doubt about it. And I want to take this opportunity to thank our partners, our lenders, and our investors who are in the project with us, because without you guys, none of this would be happening. Yeah, here's a good angle to show you this. Let me show you what's going on here. Let me get down there because he was coming around with some tailing. Yeah, that's a better angle to look at it anyway. So let me explain a little bit about what's happening here for those that are brand new to it. So as we can see up there, the excavator guy is taking that pay dirt, a bucket at a time, spinning it around. He's putting it into this derocker. Now, derockers are designed, as they say, it's a lot about heavy materials, heavy rocks. So he puts it all in here. All the big rocks fall out the end. And this is a tailing pit here for all the tailings. Tailings is all the clean materials that don't have gold in it. And then what happens is it gets hit with high pressure sprayers you can see up there. In the bottom of that derocker is basically a funnel. And the funnel goes into a set of sluices and water runs there. And it literally gets right into here, where it all comes spraying down here at mad pass. The flap keeps the water low. It goes over a screen. And all these tailings come out. This is all clean, so there's no gold in it. In our little excavator here, he's taking all the tailings and just getting it out of the way so the tip doesn't get too big. And then all the water with the gold and fine material, and it goes through a chute in the bottom and into the sluice. And the sluice we have here is about 40 feet long. The gold is heavier than all the rocks and literally heavier than the water. Underneath this, you'll see when we stop it later that it's miner's mat. So all the gold is getting stuck predominantly right there. And that's where we're going to find all the gold is in those mats in that area there. There's a nugget trap up there and everything. And then it's going to come flooding down here and get stuck. And under all this water are fine moss miner's mats that are all held in place. So what we'll do is we'll find most of our gold here, but every once in a while, probably in full production, once every 2 or 3 days, we'll change all the mats and we'll clean them all. And what we want to find out is that all the gold is up there and we don't want to find any gold down in this area right here. And that's really what's happening right now as we're on site here. This derocker plant, we made major modification to it as well. When we first started running it, we had a different setup where it would come out of here and it would split off into 3 different sets of sluices. And we were having a lot of problems with it. So we had to shut down for about 5 days and they redesigned it so it all went through one area here. And now everything seems to be flowing well. And of course, the best time for us to find out if it's flowing well is tomorrow morning when we clean those mats and see how much gold is in it. And I'll do that with you guys so you guys can actually see what's going on. So like I said, we're going to go, right now we're about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to go until 6 o'clock today, so another 5 hours. He's already been going for about 4 hours. We should put somewhere between 700 and 800 yards through here. And if we are in that ground that we're getting an ounce per 150 yards, we're going to know tomorrow morning because we're going to clean these mats. Now, here's where patience comes in, and frankly speaking, a lot of capital. We don't know for sure if that is going to have a lot of gold in it. Like, that's what we suspect. That's what our reports say. But remember, this is a needle in a haystack operation here, right? We're looking for that much gold in 100 yards of material, which if you only put 6 yards in a bucket, you're talking about 15 bucketfuls for 100 yards for 1 ounce. So you can see how much they're moving and how much gold they're going through. Now, the other thing I'll show you is we recycle the water. So as the water flows here, it goes into a pond and then into a series of ponds all the way to the bottom. And there's screens in every step of the pond. So by the time it gets to the very bottom down there where you see the big pump, it's somewhat clean. And then it gets pumped up through the big black hose all the way back in and used again in the plant. And that's what this is all about. What I'm really excited about is this is the first day I've seen this running efficiently. And it's taken a lot to get here. We've got a great team here. It's just a lot of energy, a lot of work that you have to do in order to make this happen. And it seems like it's working. Now, the next thing we're doing, actually, I'm going to head back down to the other side where the trommel is, and I'll tell you about one of the problems, another problem we've just solved and how we're going to even increase efficiency more. Here's another neat little thing I'll show you right now. It was about 3 or 4 minutes running time for me to walk down there and show you all that stuff. Well, look, in that time, the rock truck has emptied its load, gone up, got filled up again, and now he's unloading another full load, about 6 yards of material of pay dirt. So he's going to go back up again, turn around. And you can see why we need like really, really good operators of this equipment, because they're driving on thin roads and they're moving shit around, and they've got to make sure that this all stays going at the same rate, right? Let's turn around and watch it one more time. So you can see right there, just unloaded another load, and it just keeps going. And the secret, obviously, is to keep that guy in the excavator moving along. And he's got a counter there that he's counting how many buckets he does. And that bucket he has on that is about 3/4 of a yard. So all of these guys have little clickers that they're counting their yards and all the movements they're doing to make sure they do it right. Let's head down to the trommel and I'll tell you about our loader issues. Okay, so there's no easy way to say this. But for those of you guys that are following the series, you remember this 980, this loader. This is the loader last year that fell in the water. And it sat in the water on its side for about 4 days. We got it out of the water. We got some maintenance done, got it all cleaned up, got all the dirt out of it and everything, and replaced one circuit board, and it actually ran. And we've used it for probably 4 months this year. And the reason we need it is because of our trommel. The loader is an incredibly important part of running our trommel, and we can't run the trommel without it. And it's really because of the tailings and some of the work we have to do around this plant. So let me explain again for those that are just seeing this the first time, the way we've got the trommel set up. So the trommel gets fed right here from this hopper, and it's got a grizzly over it, which are those metal rods that go down the front of it. So from the other side, it's the loader that actually loads that, but puts the pay dirt into it. So the rock truck can feed both plants. It can move enough material to feed both plants. So right now, we have a mechanic part-time that works with us, and his helper are about 5 hours away from here because we found another loader. We found a loader that has 20,000 hours on it. It's just had an engine rebuild, and they want $60,000 for it. So we're going to buy that loader to get this going again, because here's the deal. We're in October here, and we've got, if we're lucky, another month. We finally get to the pay dirt that if we can move enough material, we can do 10 ounces a day. That's what it's looking like. We've already done one test on that area I just showed you guys yesterday, where we put about, I think, 400 yards of material through, and we got about 2 ounces, which an ounce for 200 yards is still freaking amazing. That derocker right now is doing about 80 yards an hour. Now, this trommel, when it's running, can do almost 100 yards an hour. So as everybody remembers, let me just turn this round again. You remember seeing it from last year? Maybe I'll get my video guys to put in a video of showing it, but just so we all understand, the loader loads the conveyor takes the dirt right up the top, puts it into that hopper, the trommel turns, and then all of the pay dirt, the fine materials with the gold in it, drops down through a chute in the bottom, and you can see how the bottom of that trommel is angled down, and there's a nugget trap there, a mat, it goes into the two sides, and it all gets caught right there. That telestack there, which is another conveyor, takes all the fines that come out the end and pushes them far away just to get it out of the way. So the loader does two things. It loads the plant and it cleans out these tailings here. Now, the craziest part is, here's what I'm excited about. That new loader we're looking at, we should have it here on Friday. So that means by Friday, we can have both plants running. And the rock truck can keep them both going. So cross your fingers that with both plants going, we could get close to 200 yards an hour. And even if we're in ground, that it's an ounce for 200 yards, which we believe it is, minimum, and it's going to get better, that could mean 10 ounces a day. That's what we're all working for right now. And you can see Junior, who's our chief equipment operator, is moving the conveyor back over. They're getting ready. They know this loader is coming and they're excited about it. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to come back to you tomorrow morning and we're going to clean those mats and see what we got.